lucky enough to have Tim Tszyu here today. He's just about to head off on holidays after to enjoy a well-earned break after what's been a fantastic build-up to last week and a great result on Sunday. We were really happy with the event. We were really happy with the performance of Tim. Very grateful for the Harrison team to make the trip out here and be able to have a superstar of that calibre out here in Australia, to enjoy what we put on out here in Australia and to face our champion in Tim Tszyu. And now we're looking forward to what comes next. I think what we saw from the performance from Tim, Tony Harrison received the Charlo treatment, so Jermell Charlo was very lucky to not have been in the ring with Tim for this fight, because I think the preparation had shown that Tim was ready to become a champion, and the performance by Tim was absolutely fantastic. And I'll pass over now to Tim, who's just about to head away for that break tomorrow, but lucky enough to have him here with us today.
Thanks to Lynn, of course, for the opportunity. It's been one hell of a ride, and I was very grateful to be able to compete in such an awesome fight against such a caliber opponent in my home state, in my home city, in front of I don't know how many people there was, but yeah, I think it was a big moment in my life, and it was a well respected in the whole boxing community, in the whole world. So yeah, I'm grateful for this.
Tim, how do you feel a couple of days after the fight, physically, mentally? How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm good. Yesterday, I just had some family and friends over. Had a nice little barbecue, and just be able to relax and get away from all the chaos and all the bright lights, and just enjoy some family time.
I saw on social media last night you posted. It was good feed. Looked like.
Yeah, it was, man. I did stuff myself up, so it was good.
What was your first go-to feed after the fight?
We had some Chinese, but you know what? Usually I'm pigging out. This time I was like, not too bad, I had a nice little healthy breakfast this morning, so I know what's on the horizon, and I don't want to start pigging out and start getting excited with things.
With that first belt, do you feel satisfaction, or does it make you sort of hungrier to keep going?
Yeah, it's I feel like it's an achievement. It feels great, waking up and I've got this belt, it says world champion in front of me. It's pretty cool, but there's a lot more to go on all 4 belts.
So do you feel like, obviously you get to fight Charlo earlier this year, do you feel like it's almost been a blessing in disguise that you weren't able to fight him? Now you've gone through Harrison, bigger and benefit.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of positives gained out of it. The fight with Charlo is definitely now a bigger fight for sure. The whole world knows about it, and everyone's commentating on it, and everyone's got their own opinion. So it does make the fight definitely more bigger. Of course, I gained way more knowledge. Was able to go another prep, to go through fight week, to do all the regulars. So all this is invaluable experience for what's ahead.
You could have waited around for Charlo, but you sort of took on that extra challenge.
Yeah.
Do you feel, how much more prepared do you feel like mentally as well now that you've got that behind you?
It's not just, I always knew in the bottom of my heart that this is where I belong. So this is part of the job, part of what I do. So I just enjoy it.
Charlo was obviously commentating Showtime and called you after a little flat and said he's going to be a different animal. What do you make of that?
Yeah, that's just the pre-prep talk anyway. I wasn't the one that was stuttering my words anyway, so it was him.
How do you adjust now for the next fight? You talk about going up levels each fight. What's your sort of preparation looking forward?
I've got to sit down with my coach and figure out exactly how we're going to do it. Again, more strategic stuff, more rounds in sparring, and just getting comfortable.
You've done the hard yards, you've gone in there, you've fought in. It seems like the Americans still don't have the respect that you deserve. How hungry are you now to go over there and sort of show them?
I think haters always going to hate. There's always going to be critics, and there's always going to be people that are putting you down. So stuff them. That's what I say. Stuff them.
Now that your fight with Harrison is done, considering he's fought Charlo twice, Like, is he someone that you might go to for tips, or is it not quite like that?
Yeah, I think I could. Yeah, I think I could. He's a very talented fighter, and I brought the best out of him. He brought the best out of me. So I think I can learn a lot from his tips.
Do you almost want to fight Charlo as soon as possible, as soon as you can, or are you happy to have?
I want him to be the
months
best. No, I want him to be the best, and whenever he's ready. But mid-year, man, let's not get too excited and start saying let's have another break. We're not having breaks here. You know, have a week or two off, but July minimum.
You said you haven't really figured out the preparation yet with your team, but do you think obviously you'll go over to the States for a period of time before the fight?
Yeah, for sure. I'll be based in America. That's where the levels go up.
Aside from your performance, how do you rate the whole event? Like, in terms of no limit, your brother also got a win, huge atmosphere. The Aussies really got behind you. Now looking back, how special was that moment?
I think it was a special moment in Aussie boxing history. You know, there hasn't been many events like that. Just from where the press conference was, the open workouts, the magnitude of the event, how many people came down, how many people talking about the event. It's crazy, you know. I don't think you can do that with any other sport where the whole world just stops and all eyes go on this half an hour of time. It's and it feels like that half an hour of time is pictured and remembered for infinity, and that's what makes boxing events so special.
Tim shared a message on social media from your father. Tell us what he said.
Oh, that's a good job, well done. You made a couple of mistakes though. Far out, man. Haters gonna hate. Nah, but we caught up, and he was real happy. You know, I think it's a big moment for him as well. And the goal now is to be the best boxing family ever lived.
How do you rate your performance now, looking back? You said obviously there's always room to improve, but where do you see it?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of mistakes made, a lot of good things as well. But at the same time, I had one of the highest IQ caliber of opponents out there. You know, so I could have some other guy where I can just flush him out, but no, I had Tony Harrison in front of me, so I've got to always remember that. So I think with the caliber of opponent I had, I think I did not too bad of a job.
Is it a case of those mistakes you might not get away as easy from against Charlotte?
No, I think I never really got caught with anything, man. You know, Terrell Gachet got caught, and I made sure that wasn't going to happen again. And I could see the punches coming. There was a few jabs, but if you watch it real close, a lot of catching, a lot of slipping, a lot of punches on the gloves, and there was no real clear punches that were landing with my head went back.
In terms of style and preparation, anything you could take out of this fight that will be still relevant when you fight Charlo?
Yeah, for sure. The distance. I think Harrison's a much quicker puncher. His speed is much quicker than IQ, and his sense of timing and defense. He's able to see shots. Harris, what's his name? Charlo. He's got a different type of style. He's more. He'll go for that KO, you know. So you gotta watch out in different things.
Charlo's had plenty to say. Do you have a message for him?
We just gotta meet, man. We gotta meet, and we'll set out our differences in the ring.
This might be one for George, but what is the process over the next sort of couple of weeks or a month or so to get that fight going?
Yeah, well, look, we've had a really good working relationship with PBC. We saw that on the weekend with the Tony Harrison fight, and it'll be the same process leading into the Charlo fight. We'll continue the negotiations. The only curveball in all of that is the hand recovery time for Jermell Charlo. So, like Tim said, Tim wants him at his absolute best, but we're also not going to wait around all year or longer. He's one of the most active guys in the division, and that's why people are going to love him when he's the undisputed champ, is because you'll get to see the undisputed champ fight quite regularly when Tim's there.
just one from you, George. Now that everything's settled with the event, and how do you look back on the event for you guys and Australian boxing as a whole?
Look, it was. I said to Tim on the way in, it's my favourite event that we've done. I was actually when Tim was walking out, I was already crying in the ring before he even got to the ring. You know, that moment, everything that we put into it to make it a memorable event. I felt like Tim's walkout was the moment where I felt like all the work's done. Now it's all up to Timmy to finish it off for us, and you know, I was really proud of it. I was grateful for everyone who turned up for the event. The crowd, the atmosphere in there, particularly for Tim's fight, was off its head. I think the Sydney fight fans really showed that they're here behind Tim, and they're very supportive of him, and I think that's across Australia too at the moment now. So I think anywhere that Tim Tszyu fights in Australia, we'll expect that same atmosphere, that same vibe, and I am grateful that we're able to get the event on here in Sydney, and yeah, very thankful to Destinations New South Wales for helping make that happen too.
I'm not sure where Charlo's sort of recovery is. If it goes beyond sort of the next 5-6 months, do you want to fight again regardless?
I think the next one's Charlo, and I think it's not going to be as long as anticipated. I think it's going to happen in July.
Vegas?
For sure, man. You know it. Yeah.
Tim, it must have been nice to get that recognition.
Yeah.
It must have been nice to get that recognition and respect from Harrison at the end of the day, you know, after all the chat and everything's been settled.
Yeah, me and Harrison, we never had no beef anyway. You know, we were always sort of respectful to each other. We had a bit of our banter, and he is who he is, and I'm who I am. So yeah, it was good to shake his hand at the end of the fight.